week till the election. Here I am again on a Tuesday outside of the Alliant Energy Center today. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard will be here. What issues or policies are important to you in this election?
Safety of border, protecting our own people, and fair trade. I think the foreign governments are getting more of an advantage than our own country, companies in our country.
My name's Eric Olson. I'm from Madison here. We're in Madison right now at the Alliant Center. We're going to see RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, and I'm running for United States Congress against our current congressman, whose name is Mark Pocan. And I think, seriously, the number one issue on my mind, really, I don't know if you can distinguish it, because there's certainly at least two. One is that the Democrat Party has somehow become against free speech and for the steady erosion of our civil liberties, which I think is almost unbelievable, because this is a party that used to supposedly at least stand for some amount of freedom. And then they've also become the party of war. And I mean, this world is on the brink of World War III right now. We have the Middle East in flames. We have an ongoing ground war in Europe, where we never thought we would see that again in our generation. And not only do we have a nasty, needless war, but the Democrats are completely blasé about the risk of World War III, even when we're basically, goading a nuclear adversary. It's total insanity. I've never seen anything so incompetent and so kind of just disgusting in my entire life. I mean, the Democrat Party has literally become the party of drinking the blood of the young people whose lives are being frittered away in trench warfare and in urban warfare, and all the meanwhile their big donors are getting the big campaign checks and the big promises of political support. And so that's the number one thing. We the people have to stand up and say, we don't want our tax money to be transferred to the arms industry under the pretext of killing a bunch of young people in other countries for no particularly good reason.
Right now, I think the greatest threat facing our nation is that we are so horribly divided politically. Remember, it was President Lincoln during the Civil War, so according to Scripture, said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." And that's true. But the good news is we're not a naturally divided people. I mean, think about it. In the major goals of life, safety, security, taking care of your family, having enough opportunity and prosperity so you can plan for your retirement and take care of your family. I mean, these are the major goals of life, and we all share them. I hope you enjoy the conversation. And again, I just want to thank you for coming here and having that open mic. So God bless all of you, and enjoy this.
Really, since 2015, they already started being unfair to him. But when he was elected, the unfairness went off into the stratosphere. And I literally have come to believe that the biggest reason that they've treated him so poorly is that he's for peace. I mean, he's gone and he's said he will bring peace to Ukraine within 24 hours. Maybe that's hyperbole, but I actually don't doubt it. The Harris-Biden people have done nothing to even call for peace. They haven't looked for a peace summit. They haven't pressured Zelensky to meet with Putin. They haven't pressured Putin to meet with Zelensky. They haven't pressured people to come to the table and sat down and said, let's have a peace summit. Let's figure out how to stop all our beautiful young people from dying. Because just because people are young people from Ukraine or young people from Russia or whatever, it doesn't mean we shouldn't be concerned about their lives too. They also have parents, they also have kids, and it's ridiculous. So I'm very passionate about that, and I hope everybody gets on board with it before it's too late. Vote for peace.
This country's in crisis. We've got to fix not just our health care system that is breaking, that's driving up the cost constantly and driving down the access, but we've got to get people healthy again. Yes!
The Democratic Party was part of my DNA. But the Democratic Party that I grew up with is gone. And people say to me, why did you leave the Democratic Party? I say, I didn't. The Democratic Party left me. It was also the party of democracy. And we watch now, over the past 19 months that I've been running for president, the Democratic Party first, in order to avoid the primaries, literally cancel the primaries to keep a president in office who had advanced dementia. We now know. And then did a palace coup against him and anointed another candidate who's never run a vote and who is sued me in 10 states, first to keep me off the ballot and then to get me back on the ballot. So it's the party that when I was a kid was fighting to make sure that every American had a right to vote, and today it's the party that's making sure that we only get to vote for the candidates they choose. I can go on and on, but it's not the Democratic Party that I was raised with anymore, and I'm now transferred my allegiance to the Unity Party with Donald Trump, who stands for those issues.
Both Bobby and I met with President Trump, and there was not a single, I'll speak for myself, Bobby, but I've heard you share your conversations with him. There's an understanding that we're not going to agree on everything. We are not going to agree on everything. My husband and I don't agree on everything. You and Cheryl? But the point is, we are gathered together and standing together because we're motivated by the most powerful force that exists, and that is love. It is for love of country, for love of peace and freedom and prosperity. But if you read the headlines the next day, you would never believe that to be the case. So breaking through that propaganda is challenging, but I encourage you, especially as we're in these final 6 days of this election, to try to seek out those people in your life who maybe that's all they're seeing, and have a real conversation with them and ask them what they are most concerned about. If they haven't decided how they're going to vote, or maybe they're leaning away from Donald Trump because all they've seen are these headlines that have been running over the last few days that are completely baseless and not a reflection of what's real. Have a respectful and caring conversation with them. And I hope you have the opportunity, as I have, through these conversations, to let them know that you care about them and to find your way towards that common ground around those founding principles that are essential to all of us as Americans.